Hey everybody, Daver here, and welcome to the show. We're going to talk a little AEW Grand Slam from Australia, but before we get into that, everyone out there, don't you forget, elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a comment. We want to know what you're thinking.
Beep boop. That's computer sounds.
Oh yeah, that's what they do, right? That's what mine's doing right now. I gotta turn my volume all the way down so you don't hear all the beep boops.
Yeah. Chandler's probably never experienced the dial-up internet sound.
No, funny enough, like I've been around old computers. I've just never been around dial-up. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's a thing long gone.
Yeah, you can't be on the internet and talk on the only phone you have in the house at the same time.
That's crazy to think about. That's just how they did it. And like that's how technology was. That's insane.
Sure was, man. Time really caught up to technology. Or technology caught up to time, either or. But yeah, we're gonna talk a little AEW Grand Slam. Chandler, you're a little so-so about it.
It was a good event.
AEW in general.
Okay, it was a good event. I'll say that. The wrestling in ring was fine, but I'm starting to see CM Punk's criticism, where like they're not really booking long term. They're just booking matches, and that's fine, right? That's fine. The matches were good, but I personally, I do not like where I think AEW is going with their stories, so I'm not very happy. But the show was not a bad show. It was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you. The Death Rider shit is stupid. The match was okay.
Is Cope winning at Revolution? Like, nothing else matters. Is Cope winning at Revolution? I'm not even like... like, Christian... I don't think a Christian cash-in would save that. I think I would just be like, ugh, like how this angle started. Maybe that's just the mercy killing of it. I don't know, but I didn't want Adam Copeland to be the savior of this angle. There's so many other younger people that you could just book. Like you could just say, hey, Mark Briscoe at Dynasty, you're beating Moxley. I think people would believe it if you told the story well. You just like pick a guy.
I just went for the shock win and had Hobbs do it on weekly television. That would have been amazing.
You should have had Hangman win the 4-way. You should have had OC. Like you should have had anything, but it just keeps going on and on and on. So that's the big thing. Where like, good God, what are they doing at Revolution with that?
Doesn't it seem like pretty weird for Cope to look so bad in defeat, getting choked out, and then losing again? Like, logically.
So, yeah.
I want him to lose, but I don't want the title reign to continue.
Yeah. I don't know what I want with this. You know, if I were Booker Man, I just would be like, I'm going to do something else. Like, Kenny Omega meant to say the AEW title, so he's going to Revolution, which I'm also annoyed about that. And it's not just, Takeshi's going to lose it, because I'm kind of already at peace with it. Takeshi has to wrestle a match. Omega doesn't. ROP gets a match in between, or else Takeshi's going to be tired. He's going to have a defense. That's heel tactics. He's using his EVP ways. I'm not here for it.
Fletcher calling out, or Ospreay calling out Fletcher for Revolution in a cage, though, so that should be really fun.
Yeah,
I'm a little stoked.
But like we've already seen a blade match between these guys. And that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure, again, it'll be a good match, but like Fletcher's going to look like a chump again. So I don't know.
Yeah,
and I really didn't like, I haven't looked up the ages because that would just mean I'm really petty. But I really didn't like how they were like, this is the future of AEW, and I'm not saying Omega Osprey aren't, but like I think Takeshita and Fletcher are younger. Like maybe just don't say wording like that. It just bugged me. So
yeah, yeah. Really, Cameron was fun.
yeah, Nigel McGuinness was solid throughout the entire night. Harley Cameron Monet was a really fun match. Okada and Buddy was really cool. I didn't think Buddy would get so close, but god damn, he was in. And then Mariah made Tony Storm. It was really fun too. Like again, not a bad event. It's just like the storylines coming out of the probably two biggest matches of the show kind of leave me a little peeved, just personally.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I sort of like shut my brain off for a lot of the storyline stuff and just try to get excited for the matches for the matches sake. Because yeah, other than like for me right now, the women's stuff is generally pretty good, and Hangman MGF I'm pretty interested in. Everything else though, probably take or leave when it comes to the writing. But I typically enjoy almost every match they have.
Yeah,
I'm loving the women's division right now.
should probably
All
try to get
around.
a little bit like that. Just for me, it bugs me because it feels like there's like a defined upper card and lower
Yeah,
card.
true.
It nobody mixes. Like they'll wrestle a couple times, but like, and they kind of felt like they were getting there with Fletcher and maybe even Takeshita, and it's like, no, get back down, get back down. So it's like, is the same thing going to be with Hobbs, where it's like, okay, he's kinda, he's maybe, no, you silly goose, get back down. So it's kind of it's disheartening to see, but I will agree with Dave. The women's division has been pretty good. Of course, the Harley Cameron Monet feud was short and sweet but fun, right? It was just about the puppet and Harley Cameron proving that she can win. She got her first match in AEW. It was a great story. And then of course the Mariah May Tony Storm. This was the climactic end to it, or they might have another match. Who knows? But yeah, it's all doing well.
I'm digging Megan Bain giving an F5 to the Statlander on the floor. I'm into Marina Shafir finally getting hands on with Willow. Like they've got things brewing that I don't know, that might be outshining the men's division.
We'll see. We'll see. We do have Hangman MJF face to face coming up, so
Yeah. How does WWE handle that? They don't. I know they don't call it face to face. They don't even like advertise that, do they?
I
With like,
think they don't advertise it typically. It's just like Cody comes out for a promo and then his opponent comes out, or like anybody, right? Punk goes out and then Rollins comes out, calls him a bitch, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Dreaded, you say the name of your opponent and they're all of a sudden their music starts and you're off to the races.
yeah, yeah. I'm really into Hangman MJF. That should be fun enough. I like the promo that MJF cut on Hangman on Dynamite. I know we didn't get to do a review on that. Weather got weird out here, but yeah, that was cool. Like Hangman kind of like had to like step back and be like, huh, like maybe I don't have the stomach for this.
Yeah, like
It's interesting.
he's getting in the ring with an actual scumbag and he'll find out like, huh, like I thought I like with Swerve it was easy and Christopher Daniels was bugging me and like I felt justified, but now he's starting to like kind of have doubts about it. Maybe he will seek out Swerve again, so
Yeah. I'm still interested to see what was up with the that whole locker room visit.
Yeah, I'm cool for a slow burn Hangman Page face turn. I think it'll be fun.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we got a new AEW Women's World Champion, Tony Storm. Ooh, man, that was like a flurry of freaking finishers at the end there. Just kick out, kick out, kick out. That was so good.
I was surprised. I'm sure like somebody has, but I can't remember the last time anybody kicked out of a Storm Zero. So kind of seeing both of them kick out of it was pretty cool. All the Maydays, obviously, and then I loved how it all ended with a small package. I saw people getting pissed about that, and I'm like, you just admitted you are not watching AEW.
Yeah.
They're like, big title match ended with a small package. It's like, how did she win the gauntlet? A small package. How has she won like all of her matches since the rookie Storm return? The small package, right? So it's like, gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Chad.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, she's the details person. Like, she thinks that stuff through. She probably had that plan from day one. Like, oh, this is going to be the thing that gets me through. And it's like, it's a cool detail.
Yeah. All those finishers, all those times dropping you on your head, and it's a small package, a thing a rookie does that ends it all. I loved it.
Uh-huh.
And then we got to hear Mariah May on Wednesday whine about getting pinned from a small package. I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of kicking out of finishers, Buddy Matthews kicked out of a Rainmaker, didn't he?
I
Yeah.
think that's the first time since maybe Danielson. Like,
yeah, they made a pretty big deal of it on commentary.
Or Osprey. I don't think Osprey probably kicked out of a ring. No.
I don't think he did.
So damn.
It's like memorable to me. Like I was like, oh my God, what?
No, I think that's why it was like, damn, they're really like pushing Buddy, aren't they? So we'll see. That I'm down for that.
Hey, he had a chance to go back to the Fed, dude, and he picked AEW. They need to reward him, push him. Maybe he can beat Garcia.
I'd be fine with that, honestly.
Put a belt on that guy. Like he deserves it. He stayed loyal. So but yeah, I had a lot of fun. It went by really quick. The matches were good. We were talking a little bit about the debunked theory about AEW couldn't figure out the shipping of the ring. It was an 18 by 18 instead of a 20 by 20.
Wasn't it just like Fletcher had like buddies in an Australian like indie wrestling show, and they wanted to use like it was just like Fletcher's like, let me use my body's ring, lab. Like,
yeah. It's not. Yeah,
I don't want to ship really all this. Oh yeah, I got a buddy who can give us a ring. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are like hung up on that. It's like it's not true. That's not what's going on.
Yeah, I did see a lot of discourse about the ring, and I only managed to watch the show today. And like, yeah, it was smaller than normal, duh, but like it didn't ruin the show. It didn't make AEW look like low quality. Like, I don't know why it was such a big deal that for one show they used a slightly smaller ring.
I mean, too, like they've used smaller rings even in America. Like Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa was an 18 by 18. There's a couple more they did. To me, it feels like with it being smaller, it almost makes every competitor look more larger than life.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
especially someone like Takeshita or Buddy Matthews or Okada, like, god damn, they looked huge. Or Claudio or even like Adam Copeland. Like, I prefer the 20 by 20, but for rare nights like this where it's a special event, hyperactive crowd, it's not a bad thing.
I don't know. I think it looked really good. I mean, I'm used to WCW using an 18 by 18, ECW, TNA. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. It didn't make them look small time or anything like that. I did like to see Nick Nemeth came to AEW's defense too. He tweeted about, he's like, guys, WWE uses smaller rings overseas too. Like, it's happened. It's like not a thing that never happens. Like,
obviously, WWE is a sham of a shill of a company.
Right?
I'm not watching it anymore.
Small timers.
Netflix canceled. Peacock terminated.
So yeah, man, it's just haters wanting to hate. I mean, we're gonna get that.
Yeah, I think it's scary how many wrestling fans, i.e., people who talk about it on Twitter, don't watch any of the product. It's like shockingly scary how much of them there are.
Yeah.
So you kind of just got to take all this Twitter discourse with a grain of salt a lot of the time. Like all this like Jey Uso hate, like sorry dog, have you seen the crowd still?
Yeah.
Like he's worked hard. He's worked his ass off. And again, like he's only gonna have like 1 or 2 reigns max, right?
Right.
Gunther's gonna have 1 million.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not
Give
the
the
end
guy
of
his
the world.
flowers. Like he
Yeah.
he won the crowds over, top merch seller. Like clearly people love him. Just because some dude's loud on the internet, who cares?
This is the shit that Zack Ryder fans would have craved back in the day, or Rusev, or like, anyone, right? Like now that they're over, now that they're getting wins, now that they're doing stuff. Oh, now the people turn on them. But I don't know. It's just people who have nothing better to do all day.
Is Gunther putting over Jay?
I think so.
Yeah.
He might
That'd
not,
be cool.
Gunther could just retain, and that would be a little funny. I would
That
see the
would be.
humor in that, but I think Jay will win, and I kind of want Jay to win.
Punk's still getting his main event.
So I don't think the match that he is probably having is going to main event, but I think like it will. It's going to
Should
be
be the
Roman.
women's match, right? Should be main eventing night 2 or night 1.
Yeah, in a perfect world, but that hasn't happened in like 3 or 4 years. But it's most likely going to be Punk and Roman and Seth, just in a 3-way for I don't know the hell of it. Which like if that's your main event, that's so forced.
That is, yeah. No, that feels like a show opener, either night 1 or 2. Like
A
it's a good
hot
hot,
show,
yeah, hot
yeah.
way to get the night going.
A good penultimate main event, like a semi-main to your title match that goes on last. Like I don't know, I think that'd be fire. And I know it's delaying Punk's wish to main event a Mania by another year, but like there's kind of more important stuff happening this year. So like we just delay it 1 more year. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back to AEW. We want to get in the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
Grand
do
Slam.
it.
Knit riddled grit.
We got Takeshita and Fletcher versus Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Yeah, I thought the crowd was pretty hot. Nice packed arena. Uh, good camera shots, wide angles of the crowd. It looked pretty freaking legit to me. Kenny and Osprey end up getting the win with the most amazing thing. I'm going to call it the Hidden Angel.
That's cool.
So we got how did it work? Kenny had
Takeshita up, and he had his back to Osprey on the top rope, and Osprey jumped, hit a hidden blade on Takeshita's like neck shoulder area as he was going down for the one-winged angel. That's a pretty fucking baller. Like
Yeah.
I know I did say I don't want Kenny and Osprey to tag, but like I don't know if they do some Omega Osprey versus the Death Riders and they do that on Moxley, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, and like this is why I can't like criticize it too much because it was a really good match. It was a lot of fun. All 4 of these men are incredibly talented. Um, I'm just a little disappointed that it's like, ah man, the Don Callis family lose again. And then at Revolution, they're probably all gonna lose again.
yeah. Um, yeah, that freaking finisher, dude. Like, there's something I really love about hodgepodge tags or tag teams being put together, and then they combine their finishers like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's something to be said. That's really cool to me. Um, kind of gave me goosebumps when I saw that. I popped pretty hard. Um, yeah, it was really good. But yeah, the match was pretty good. A lot of stuff happened. Takeshita kicked out of a power bomb and a V trigger at one point. That was pretty badass. Takeshita released German suplex Kenny and Osprey at one point. It was almost like a what do you call that when he just a deadlift.
Oh yeah.
Uh, like, dude, unbelievable. Like he was going for what Kenny first, and then
Yeah, Kenny kind of delayed it, and so he picked up Osprey, and then he just did them both to him. It was pretty fun.
yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, they're still booking Takesh to look like a badass, which is at least they're doing that. He lost the match, but they're portraying him as a beast.
It's why
Like they
it's
need to,
why I'm like okay with Kenny taking it. I'm sad, right? Of course I'm sad, but of all people, I'm
Yeah.
fine with it being Kenny. I just thought Osprey would get it again. And again, I would have been I don't want that cuz I want Osprey to do other stuff, but I would have been fine with it cuz it's Osprey, right? So it could be worse, Could have been like Claudio taking it, right? Could have been like Wheeler Yuta. So,
Ooh, you
yeah,
take that
oh,
back.
I'll take Kenny Omega way, way before like 85% of the roster.
yeah, absolutely. Another fun spot was a real quick sequence where Fletcher and Osprey both countered power bombs to each other,
Hmm.
and then real quick Fletcher gets Osprey into a Styles Clash position, but then Osprey uh, counters that into a DDT.
That
Like
was
what?
Yeah.
that was a gnarly looking DDT.
Yeah, dude, it looked great. Um, of course, we had to get Don Callis involved, grabbing Kenny's leg. Fuck Don Callis. Am I right?
He's a good booker, okay? He just has some evil ways.
Yeah, no, he's great. Like he plays that character so good. I
Hmm.
like how too that scar he's got from Moxley, he like puts red shit on
Yeah.
that every time he goes on camera to make
Yeah,
it look,
it's funny.
yeah, dude, it's pretty cool. But yeah, really love the match. Any notable moments from you guys that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy?
I liked the bit where Takeshita and Fletcher hit basically stereo pile drivers at the same time.
That was cool.
Takeshita had the Gonzo bomb and Fletcher had the Tombstone. That was always a fun spot. Like there's a lot of big moves in this one, if I remember correctly. Like they did the supported brainbuster that
Yeah.
they do with Fletcher on I think Omega. Like right after they hit him with like a Takeshita knee and like a bunch of shit, and then they hit him again. But that was a really close like breakup by Osprey. So it was just a nice solid tag team match overall.
Yeah, it was good. It was a fun way to start it, I thought. I don't know, like I thought I honestly thought it was going to be more. Maybe I was expecting more of a pay-per-view cuz like the pacing to me like I expected it to be even quicker and harder and crazier. Like think like Kyle Fletcher Osprey won like that first match he had. Like I was expecting him to go that nuts. So I was like, "Oh, this is fun. Oh, that was cool. That was cool." But I was like I was expecting it to be like even crazier than it was, but I don't know. Maybe that was just the mood I was in.
This isn't a pay-per-view,
Yeah.
Chad. Come
Neither
on.
was that. That was Osprey's first weekly television match, and I was like, "Is this guy gonna do this every week? He's not gonna
Yeah.
have a long career."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I see what you're saying, Chandler, about like, oh, every time you think Fletcher and Takeshita, like, oh, nope, 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 get back down. But like, I think they're kind of keeping the balance fairly well for me. Like they're not main eventers, but they're definitely kind of a mid card, upper mid. Like they're only wrestling main eventers.
Yeah, that's true. They're doing well. I just wish they were doing better, I guess. But that's fine. You got Omega's comeback. You got Osprey still the hottest thing in the company. So I don't blame them for pushing them. It's the smart thing to do. I'm just disappointed. But it's not gonna be a bad product. Like, I'm not hyped for Revolution. It's still gonna be a fine pay-per-view.
Yeah. Man, I like Kyle Fletcher a lot, man. He is gonna be doing this for a long
Yeah.
time. He's still young. And I
Mhm.
like how they've still booed him in his home country.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you?
I appreciate that. But moving along here, we got a TBS title match. Uh, Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron. Awesome. Harley Cameron earned her title shot by just winning one TV match
Hey,
and
you know
playing
what?
guitar and rapping and ventriloquism.
That's one more match than Monet won to get her TBS shot at Double or
Ooh.
Nothing last year. So Harley Cameron did more.
Yeah, true. Uh, I'm happy they're capitalizing on Harley Cameron's organic ability to get over. Dude, she's got it all plus. Like, get her on commentary immediately.
Might steal
Yeah.
the show.
But man, oh man, it was good. Uh, she couldn't get the title though. Monet ends up giving her a moneymaker for the win. Uh, some pretty cool stuff happened though. Harley Cameron does a 619 to Monet. I like that a lot. There's a
Just like
great
Eddie.
yeah. There was a pretty cool part where Cameron is like knocked out of the ring and she just like creeps up over the apron with the puppet and her like
Oh,
oh it
God.
was great. Like I like that still picture of that. Uh like she can still be funny, she can be, vicious, got it all, man. Uh countered at least one moneymaker, which is not easy to do. Of course, you got Monet hitting her meteoras and her running knees, and uh, yeah, fun stuff. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Wasn't the greatest match of all time, but it was a fun, nice little showing. Hopefully we have more for Harley Cameron in her future. And unfortunately, this was a pretty bad moneymaker. So
True.
what happened to that one move where like it's like a end of heartache, but like on
That
your
was
chest?
dope. Yeah.
Like, what happened to that? That was a great finisher. Where'd that go?
It's only for Japan.
God, they get all the good stuff. I think they were teasing a match with Mercedes Moné coming up with Momo Watanabe, who was in the crowd. She won that 4-way women's match from Wrestle Dynasty that we all remember. Um, so they were kind of teasing that, but I could also see that happening in Stardom. So that's the only thing kind of coming out of this that's in Monet's future, but it might not even happen in AEW.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Anything that stuck out to you, Chad?
Puppet stuff. That tickled me. It was, the match wasn't what you would expect it to be. It was good, like, but and again, like hats off to Harley Cameron, like not a ton of experience, and she's on a not quite pay-per-view in a pretty prominent spot with one of the biggest people in the company. Cool. and she held her own, and she was awesome and entertaining. Like for me, it was like it was it was a popcorn match, man. I had a good time. Was I expecting the greatest wrestling? No, but was I entertained? Yes, it was very fun.
Yeah, it did it for me, man. Just keep pushing Harley Cameron, Tony Khan. You got to do it. Uh, yeah, fun stuff. Then we get a little backstage promo. Kenny calls out Takeshita for the international title for Revolution, and Ospreay calls out Fletcher for Revolution for a steel cage match. Um, I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they'll be good matches. By the way, again, Kenny's EVP heel gimmick is coming to fruition because only one of those matches has been made official for Revolution, and it's not Osprey's.
Ooh,
Yeah, get a good heel turn from Kenny. That'd be
Oh,
fun.
I'm just joking. I think it's funny that only one of them was made official, but maybe that'll be like on Dynamite. Fletcher would be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna bloody do it, love, cause I don't wanna."
Yep. Just like that. uh, cool. Then we get a Brisbane Brawl. Cope and Jay White versus Moxley and Claudio. Uh, so the best part of this match, how about that intro? The crowd singing Copeland's song, dude. That
Oh
gave me
yeah,
goosebumps. That was a moment.
that was pretty cool. Um, it reminded me of Clash at the Castle where they did the same thing, but I think they went longer here. Um, but yeah, it was really cool to see, and it's crazy that that was the first thing that happened in the match, and it peaked there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like
it
doing
did.
like, how do they know all those words? I've got very bad memory for everything.
We get Moxley as a wanker chant. We got Nigel saying something about only thing that comes out of Australia is Crocodile Dundee, Bluey, and koalas with chlamydia.
Oh, and then Schiavone got like really offended. He's like, "Hey, stop it!" Like I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty funny how he was like, "Knock it off."
Yeah. Um, but yeah, man, obviously fucking Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir get involved. No Pac, he wasn't there. That's par for the course. But yeah, uh, let's see, we get a table spot with let's see, I can't remember who power bombed who. Copeland got power bombed
I
into
know
the table from
Copeland
Moxley.
Copeland speared Claudio into a table at the very end.
Yeah. Moxley power bombs Copeland into a table. Um, but yeah, they take out Jay White and Moxley chokes out Cope with the yeah, just a bulldog choke, man. Kind of lackluster. Uh, so if we do the go home math, that means Copeland's winning the title.
I'm beginning to see South Korea's ways. I'm beginning to understand them. If you don't understand that, South Korea did a little ranking of all their favorite and least favorite wrestling stuff. And like, by God, John Moxley won 75% of the worst stuff on that list, which is a little hyperbolic, but also funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this match. Like, Death Rider stuff didn't work. What a shock. Did you see they have merch on AEW now? Did you see what it is?
No.
It's just a white T-shirt. It's a white T-shirt, and at the very bottom, like left-hand corner, it says "Property of Death Riders." So, remember
can,
when they were
can we get
taking
the
over the
Peter Griffin
company?
pants too?
That would be funny. Yeah, the Peter Griffin pants. But yeah, remember when they were taking over the company, and now they have merch? Like I don't know, that's just weird. It's like retribution.
Yeah, true. Uh, but yeah, that match happened. Do you have any thoughts on it, Chad?
I'll be honest, it did not pass the phone test.
Yeah.
I kind of zoned out for a lot of it. It's not the if you want to get the Death Riders feeling remotely hot, those are not the people to put them with. I mean, which is unfortunate because I feel like Jay White did a lot of good heavy lifting building to this, but even then I was just like, not feeling it.
He needs to go back to the guns. Like, even if he still fights the Death Riders, he needs the guns with him.
True.
Yeah. Death Riders need to get around to Swerve and Osprey, Kenny.
Yeah.
Those are the right people for it, if anybody.
If this keeps going past Revolution, because there's always a chance that there is now a more significant chance than before that Cope beats Max.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, I didn't watch all of AEW Dynamite last week because my internet went out, but I saw bits and pieces of it since then, and I saw the bit where he was like, "This is what I think about your world championship" to the briefcase and started hitting it with this silly bat. It's like, oh, okay, so you don't care about the AEW title now? Like, thanks,
That was
Cope,
weird.
burying the AEW title on Dynamite. This sucks. Like, I kind of don't like Adam Copeland a lot right now. I have not liked a single thing he's done since he returned. And I'm at the point where I don't really want to see him unless he's losing to someone. And even then, this was pretty stupid because it was like, it's kind of a throwaway match. Why can't he just spear Claudio, get the quick win, and then you have, like, you see how, and it's like call an audible even. You hear how over he was in that crowd? Like, this is just, you know what Triller described this as? Because I couldn't find Grand Slam Australia. It was a collision. This was just
It was on Max too.
this was just a collision. Why can't Copeland win a silly tag match on Collision?
Yep.
Yeah,
Very true.
that's because he's gonna win at Revolution, baby.
You're right. He is.
I thought for sure FTR were going to come out and turn on Cope.
That's also the thing is like, God, FTR suck. They're not even coming out to help Cope anymore. I thought they were like, oh, it was the old guys and Adam Copeland. Now we're
Couldn't get
upset
into the
that
country because of gun stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Well, what about Dax?
If Cash can't go, I can't go. Top guys out.
Dax is the greatest wrestler alive. We know he can already solo the Death Riders, right? FTR beat the Death Riders in a tag match not too long ago. Why do FTR get to beat the Death Riders, but Adam Copeland doesn't?
I never thought of it like that. Yep.
See, and like,
Anyway.
there's a really easy way to do this, right? Because I was like, okay, how would what would I do? You would have like, I think to like kind of breathe some life into this, you should have had like Jay hit a Blade Runner on Moxley, and it still pins him, and they still keep it protected, and they're like, oh, if we get a Jay Moxley match, all it takes is one Blade Runner because we've never had the Jay White Moxley singles match yet, still. So I think even then, like, I would have done everything before. We're just gonna have Moxley choke him out. But yeah, it's like everything I'm saying is like, oh yeah, because Cope's probably gonna win at Revolution, and it's like, no thanks.
Maybe we can hope for somehow Cope gets taken out before Revolution, and Jay White's got to fill in for him.
I don't like false advertising. As much as I don't want to see Copeland and Mox, I don't like false advertising even more. So I'm gonna say no. They're booking the match. Just have like Christian cash in, make it a triple threat.
That's fair.
Yeah. And Cope and Christian team together, and they're buddies again.
Yes. I think, you know what? we're always figuring out how do we fix this. Just add Christian. He's right there. Just add Christian.
That would be so good, dude. Christian like weaseling around with the Death Riders, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
I want it. I want it bad. Anyway, that match happened. It wasn't the coolest, but yeah, it was on the card. Then we got Buddy Matthews Okada. This was good. Buddy Matthews really put up a really good fight, but Okada ended up grabbing the ref, low blowing Matthews on a Rainmaker for the win. Yeah, Buddy looked good. He looked real good.
Yeah, no, the whole match was fantastic. The action was great. The near falls, kicking out of a Rainmaker, hell yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I accidentally read the spoilers because I had to watch this the next day, and I was still bit on the near falls. I was like, oh, Buddy's got the. Oh wait, no, he doesn't.
Well, I don't think any of us expected it to go so like 50-50, like
Yeah.
for Buddy, like him to get so much in, him to get so many near falls. So it's kind of like he's got to get it on one of these, right? Like nobody has in kayfabe pushed Okada to the limit as much as Buddy did. So that was really nice and really refreshing to see. And hopefully it spells good things for not just Buddy, but the whole Hounds of Hell group as a unit.
Yeah.
Like, who I think should beat the Hurt Syndicate for those titles? Is there a duo right now that could use some titles in AEW? I can't. Brody King and Buddy. Maybe those goobers. How about that? Or
Okay. Sorry. I thought you meant somebody else.
Outrunners.
Dino and the Outrunners beat Jericho and Keith and Bill
straight
at
to the moon.
Can't remember what ROH, some kind of
Supercard of Final Battle before Dishonor.
Yeah. It was something they filmed it in Australia, I think. It was some kind of like special thing.
Oh, Dingoes of Dishonor.
Oh.
Alliteration and dingoes. Nailed it.
Dingleberries.
Hey, while I'm looking up this Ring of Honor event that I'm just curious about, Dave, what do you think about Ricky Starks? Perhaps in
He's gonna be Trill London.
No, I think they're gonna surprise us tonight with Ricky Starks, guys, and they're gonna do that. I'm gonna be honest, I am getting a little annoyed when they do the smug like we'd always knew it was gonna be like this, guys. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What the WWE does sometimes. I'm getting a little annoyed of it. But yeah, they're gonna do that. Be like, it was always gonna be Ricky Starks. So it'll be Richard Starks or Rick Starkies.
What was it? Big Billy.
Big Billy Starks. Oh, you know what? I'm fine with Omega beating Takeshita now because you just reminded me it could be so much worse. So you know what? It'll be a fun match.
Oh,
Winnipeg,
Chad.
I found the Ring of Honor show. It was called Global Wars.
Yes, yeah. Dustin and Guevara beat MXM.
Oh, so this isn't telling me who won. This is just telling me who was there. Yeah. It just kind of looked like a Ring of Honor show. It doesn't look like anything close to a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was like their Battle of the Belts, I guess.
Yeah. Their Grand Slam Australia.
Yeah, Jericho got pinned in that match too.
Oh no, is Jericho beating Bandito?
No.
Oh no. You know what? If that makes I still haven't yet to see Bandito in a match. Just because I've been not watching the certain ones he's been on, and that's my fault. I should be watching him. But God, I do want to see him on AEW.
Yeah.
But
him and Kenny, man, that's a pretty amazing match.
Yeah. You miss El Vikingo.
Yeah.
I heard he got
don't think.
injured at like a TNA show, right?
Yeah, and I don't think AAA people are really allowed to be on AEW anymore. They're
Oh,
AAA's kind of got a relationship with WWE now, right? I think so.
yes.
I thought somebody's appearing at a AAA show. I can't remember who, but I read that a few days ago.
I
Some
think
WWE
you're
superstar.
right.
Can't remember who it is, but I think they've got a relationship because Tony Khan brought in CMLL guys and AAA got pissed.
Hmm.
And
Wow,
that's
wow.
Conan at AAA, and he hates
True.
Tony Khan.
Uh, Conan is open to WWE collaboration. Uh, I
Someone's going over there, not too far from now.
I'll look up
To
WWE NXT just in case, because you never know.
yeah, yeah. While you're looking that up, Chad, you mentioned Buddy kicking out of a Rainmaker. But what led up to that, I thought was pretty cool too. Buddy gave Okada a GTS and then goes for a curb stomp, but Okada dodges that and then hits the Rainmaker. That was a pretty cool sequence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's for me. That was easily match of the night. The main event got pretty close, but I don't think they had quite enough time.
you like Buddy Matthews hit a jackhammer on Okada for a near fall. I thought of Goldberg. And that like reverse Texas Cloverleaf
That was
that he got
awesome.
on Okada was
Yeah.
unreal, dude. Oh,
Yeah. Kept him in the middle of the ring for quite some time, too. It was a really good spot.
yeah. Thought he was tapping for sure. But yeah, this match freaking ruled.
I haven't found anything, so
Too.
I feel
Definitely
like I
exists.
have heard something about somebody going to a AAA event, but maybe like they just went as a fan, you know? Because I
Yeah,
think Rhea Ripley was at Grand Slam Australia. She just wanted to watch Buddy, which yeah, this is one of Buddy's biggest matches of his career. So
she
uh,
backstage.
no, she's in the crowd.
Cool.
What?
She's dropping the title on Raw, brother. She's getting buried. Charlotte Flair says, "Never mind. I'm going for Charlotte Flair on Raw," and it's like a 2-minute match, and she gets squashed, and they're like, "Back down to Ring of Honor with you."
Oh no. Um, yeah, well, that's cool. There to support her man.
Mhm.
But yeah, this match was freaking great. Push Buddy Matthews, give him a title. He's loyal. He stayed with AEW. He
I'm
could have
saying,
left.
I'm saying him and Brody King beat Bobby Lashley and Shelton in
Ooh.
like a
They're the
couple
ones.
months,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yes.
Give him a good build.
Mhm.
good call. That's really the only tag team I can think of, let alone who should beat them. I
Or
don't even know.
the outrunners are always your like break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh no, Buddy's injured and we're just not liking Bobby and Shelton right now, you just go boom, 2 minute squash on Dynamite, and everybody would be okay with it.
Oh, they would pop so hard.
Uh huh. They're just doing like the
Yeah.
most basic moves, and they do one son of a bitch elbow on Bobby. 1, 2, 3, boom. The crowd would go crazy.
I was reading one of those like uh, 5 released WWE superstars and that should go to AEW. And I was reading like Paul Ellering would be perfect to be paired with the Outrunners. He can be like, yeah, I knew these guys back in '85.
Okay, I was against it, but like if he plays into the camp, he's like, I've been managing them this whole time. These are the youngest men alive. I can guarantee it. Like if he goes into the camp, yes,
Yeah,
hire Paul Ellering for that. That'd be so funny.
I mean his daughter's already in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Good old Rachel Ellering. She's good too. I like her. She kind of reminds me a lot of Deonna Purrazzo in a lot of ways, but yeah, she's pretty good.
Mhm.
Uh, but cool, yeah, we're at our main event already. The Glamour, Mariah May, defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Timeless Tony Storm. They do a really cool video package with Renee narrating, really well done. I think their video package game has definitely gone up,
Yeah.
like overall.
They're
Yeah.
really good when they have like Renee Paquette or Excalibur narrate them too. I think it really
Yeah.
adds another like extra bit of flavor to it. Because all the ones like Excalibur does, where he's slows down a bit and like enunciates the word a little bit more, he's fantastic. And
Yeah.
of course, Renee Paquette is great at these. So
Man, who was the one that Dean Malenko did? Do you remember that one?
he did a blood
It
and
was
guts one.
it was gritty, dude. I
Mhm.
loved it. His like gravelly voice. Oh,
Do it
love
for
Dean
every blood and
Malenko.
guts.
Love Dean Malenko. So yeah, we got that video package. We got they're panning to Luther in like an usher get up. Then he starts motioning to the stage. They get into it. Tony Storm's beating Mariah May up. We get a Luthez press. Uh, Tony Storm gives Mariah May 6 release German suplexes in a row. I'm like, so on my notes, I just kept like, I'm like, all right, A, release German suplex. Oh, erase 2, erase 3. And I had to do that all the way up to 6. Uh, Mariah May did a shotgun drop kick to Tony Storm into the barricade. Tony uh, gives Mariah May and gets her in like an STF, but it's more like a choke instead of a crossface. Mariah gets to the ropes. Mariah May gives Tony a Mayday on the floor. Then Mariah May gives Tony Storm a hip attack, but Tony Storm comes back with a Mayday for a near fall. Uh, Going back to like using each other's moves, and I like the whole story with that.
Hmm.
Uh, Tony gives Mariah May 3 hip attacks, then a Storm Zero. Mariah May kicks out. What? Mariah May hits 2 Maydays for another near fall. Somehow Tony kicks out. Tony power bombs Mariah May, and then a Storm Zero. Mariah May rolls out of the ring. They get back in there, and uh, May hits Storm Zero on Tony, but Tony rolls up Mariah May for the win in that small package. We got a new champion. Very good moment.
First ever 4-time AEW Women's
Yeah.
Champion, and happened in her home country. Yeah, I this was probably my favorite match of the night, but the story definitely like past storyline and my investment carried that. I think Okada and Buddy was a better like in ring work match type. But God, I love this match. This is near perfect. And it sets up a possible third encounter for these two. Now they're 1-1. Each time they've taken the title off each other. So now one more time. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to happen at Revolution, okay? It can wait. But yeah, I thought it was really excellent match. And Dave, you kind of said all the really fun stuff. Just a lot of crazy finisher kickouts at the end, and it all ended with a nice small package.
Yeah. Yeah. It was blistering pace. Like the match went by in the blink of an eye for me. For a minute, I was like, man, did they go short? But it was a standard length for at least the women's division. But yeah, it was so well paced. It was just like, holy crap, a lot happened. But yeah, it was good. And like you said, like, yeah, let's bring it back. Like, let's have Tony get in a good defense at Revolution, and then maybe they bring it back after that, all in or something.
Double or Nothing is supposed to be an important show.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that'd be an important match.
Yeah. I want to be greedy and see if we can put it off until Wrestle Dream so we can see it Live.
I don't think that'll happen. I'm with you, but I don't think that'll happen. Oh gosh, I was gonna say something. I can't remember what. I don't know. It was a really fun match. I feel like they slightly changed Tony Storm's music, or maybe it was just the arena they were in, but it sounded a little bit more bombastic, which I'm okay with. I don't know. It was overall a fun show, and especially the win at the end. It's like, man, I'll never give up on AEW because
Yeah.
like they'll always have moments like this where you get swept into the moment, you get swept into the action. Those poor Australian fans, man, they had to watch like Harley Cameron lose, and then it was the Brisbane Brawl, and then it was Buddy losing. So I'm sure they're like, if Mariah wins, we're
Yeah.
gonna torch AEW. We're gonna come after Tony Khan. But thankfully, Tony Storm won. So they at least, and they like, it almost made them like get even crazier. And they were like, oh my God. Yeah. So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
overall a fun show. Glad they did it. And I hope they do more stuff like this.
Boo
Remember?
me, will you? I'm calling an audible. You're dropping the title.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember we were talking about, they're like, all right, if they make this the main event, Tony's winning. As soon as I saw that it was the main event, I'm like, oh, all right, good, good, good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it did have like an abrupt, like they went off air pretty abruptly too. They
Yeah.
must have like just ran out of TV time.
I with Chris Jericho, uh,
No, 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 no.
I this is just baseless speculation. With all the hoopla that was going on with the NBA All Star, like they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be at the normal collision time," and then it's like, "No, the NBA All Star Weekend is happening. You got to push it." Like I'm sure time was running short,
All right.
so
It it aired like 13 minutes late live. Like it was supposed to be
really,
7:30, but it was like 7:43.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks they've been they weren't giving it a hard time in anyway,
Yeah.
so they were advertising as like, yeah, whenever the All Star stuff's done.
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, kudos to them for
Yeah.
getting their time in it. Like it flew by, but nothing felt rushed. Everything, like even Monet and Harley Cameron had plenty of time. So, like, it wasn't a pay per view, so the pay matches didn't feel like pay per view quality. But like, this was 5 great TV matches in
Yeah.
a row. There's nothing wrong with that. It was a very excellent show.
Hmm.
Two women's matches. That was dude, there were two women's matches on Dynamite. We didn't talk about that.
It's like talking to the pitcher in the middle of a no hitter. You don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't acknowledge it.
it's like when you see a deer, you're not like, "Whoa, a deer!" You go, get a little closer, see what we can do.
And the way they tied into each other was beautiful too.
I
Loved
heard it
it.
was like Megan Bain squashed someone,
Squash.
and then Chris Statlander came out, squashed someone, and then she gave an F5 to Statlander. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was good. I cannot, dude. That's got to be Revolution. Please let that be at Revolution.
I
Dude,
mean,
Megan Main, they're doing it right with her. They're doing what they should have done with Camille
I
with
would
Megan Main.
I would almost, because we just had Grand Slam and Monet and Tony Storm just had big matches. I would almost be okay if you did like a Willow Marina Shafir, Megan Bain on Chris Statlander, and you just gave them Revolution off. Like I know I'm not a big fan of titles missing pay per views, but like they just had a big event. It's only 3 weeks, and they haven't like.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're kind of building other stories. So I'd like them to have a nice payoff, and then
Yeah.
you spend more time you slowly build something for Monet, slowly build something for Storm. But we'll see about that. We'll see if that happens.
I'm digging Megan Bain. Like they got something there.
Mm.
I can't remember who was saying it, but they feel like she's like Anna Jay, as if she was a Pokemon who leveled up three times.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
Um, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Anyways, do we
Um,
want to speak about Dynamite?
Finally.
Okay, so we have the Ops versus the Patriarchy in a trios match. That'll be fun. That's the
I'm glad they have a name.
I do too. I liked. I think people were calling them Joe
The
Gun.
Joe, yeah.
I liked, but I think the Ops is. It's like it's one of those where I will like it. It's just weird to see Tony Schiavone say the Ops because that's like a kid. That's like a my era
Yeah.
word, and Tony Schiavone to hear, oh, the Ops are going on to face the patriarchy.
This
It's
is
like
gonna be
it's just
so skibbity. Did I use
yeah.
that right?
Yes. It's just weird to hear Tony Schiavone say it. So I'll get past. It's not like Cope where it still sounds weird. It still sounds awful when they're like, "What will Cope do?" It still sounds forced. This will just take some time.
At least it sounded a little better coming out of Arcady Aura than it does Justin Roberts. She
Yeah.
didn't like make a spectacle of it. Like I don't like the way Justin Roberts does it.
Well, I hated it.
Rated R. Like, come on.
I'm not the biggest Justin Roberts fan. I think I've said that
I
before.
am. I like every other ring announcing he does.
I remember when Adam Copeland first started showing up and he was like, it's the rated R super superstar. I hate it. Like, man, he should just be like, it's Cope, guys, and then just drop the mic. Like, just stop. MGF Hangman Page face to face. That'll be fun. Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong in the Revolution International Championship Series. I think this is
real quick. No controversy with him being gone. He just took some time off.
Good for him.
yeah. I think we were talking about that where it's like, yeah, he worked a lot last year. He deserves some time off. So I'm glad that like it was just yeah, he went home for a little bit and got a little sleepy sleep. But yeah, so I was about to say I think this is his first match since World's End, so it'll be good to see Orange Cassidy back. And then Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill in a street fight.
Dude, that better be the main event.
They don't really. That's all that's announced, so I can't imagine anything else main eventing.
What else would be? Yeah, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm into that feud.
Yeah,
big time.
That's a pretty fun one. And then for Revolution, we still only have Mox and Cope and Kenny Omega versus. Gee, I don't know. Is Takeshita gonna win when they like? This is like I don't like this booking, where like
Yeah.
Omega's at the pay-per-view, but Takeshita's got to fight to get to the pay-per-view, and Omega doesn't. Like, I'm just not the biggest fan of that. So
Takeshita has a match before the pay-per-view,
Takeshita
you're
has a
saying?
match next Dynamite. Not tomorrow, next week. And that'll be the winner of Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds a little convoluted.
Yeah, I get what they're doing. Maybe that this should have been announced like on Dynamite, and then they'll face like Kenny Omega versus pick a name, and it'll be the winner of Omega and that name at internet or like that. Like they should have made this a little bit more of a tournament instead of like I will have a match and then your Revolution match. It's just weird. But that's that. Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit like I feel like whenever we talk about Dynamite, we always are like, it wasn't like I'm always like, it wasn't that bad. So I am a little bit more hopeful for the future of AEW than I was before this podcast. And it's mostly still riding on the backs of like Tony Storm and Monet and Swerve and Ricochet weren't on this card, and I'm still into that feud. And obviously Hangman MJF is pretty decent right now. So like I just gotta wait it out.
Yeah.
And then of course in ring, this was a great show.
Yeah, eventually Darby's gonna come back and he's gonna fix the Death Rider stuff, and then Christian's gonna fix all that, and then life will be good.
I still don't want to wait for Darby, but I don't want it to be Cope. Like, no way those are two options, right? Like, we're like, I don't want to wait till July for Darby. Okay, we'll just do Cope. How'd you get to that conclusion?
I want Swerve, Hangman, or Ospreay. Kenny, I guess, too. I got 4 people I'd rather it be.
I take Brody King. I take Mark Briscoe. I take like
Yeah.
Claudio.
Most of the roster, really.
Yeah, like
Jarrett.
I would have.
Nick Camarado.
Yeah,
Dustin Rhodes.
If you book him, maybe not Dustin Rhodes. There is a limit. There is a limit, and we have found it.
Yeah, we have.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
cool. I'm glad it reviewing the show kind of made you feel a little better about it. You before we went on, you're just like,
Yeah,
AEW.
I was not happy about AEW, but now I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. I got a little bit more faith. But yeah, I was not excited about AEW.
Yeah, we all agreed the Death Riders suck. Copeland and FTR suck. Jericho sucks.
Who's Copeland? I have no idea who that is. I know Cope.
I can't cope with the name change.
And then there's we got Elimination Chamber coming up.
Ooh.
That'll be fun. We're getting an unsanctioned match in WWE.
Dude, that's such a good build up right now.
Can you believe that?
Is it Zayn and Owens?
Yeah.
It's
That's the
excellent
unsanctioned.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
In Toronto,
I heard about the match.
so in Canada.
I keep hearing like, oh, Sami Zayn's gonna die.
Probably.
I mean, yeah. Shoot, go back to that one video I did about blood feuds. They are featured quite heavily in it. They've had some slobber knockers over the year.
And looks like hopefully they'll add one more to that one. So it'll be interesting what they do. And then there's one other like non-chamber match, and I just can't remember it right now. Chad, do you remember it?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, I know the chambers. So you got Cena, Punk, Priest, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. So that's the men's. And then the women's is Bianca, Roxanne Perez, Bailey, Liv Morgan, Naomi. Oh, I can't think of that 6th one. I feel ashamed.
Jade Cargill must be coming back soon, right? Because they're trying to figure out who took her out.
Yeah, actually, I bet you that'll be the Mania match for Belair, because I don't know. I think it was Bianca Belair who did it.
Her partner?
Who she pushed her through like it was Alexa Bliss. Yeah, she's the one who killed her and pushed her through the whatever you call it, the car. I don't even remember what happened to Jade Cargill.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just remember. Yeah, it was just typical. She's laying there in a mess of stuff in the back, and well, she's dead. Moving right along.
Naomi, you're the tag team champ now. Congrats.
Anyway, cool. Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm not contractually obligated to watch Elimination Chamber, but I'll probably watch some highlights. I'll know who won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it. It's on an inventory day, so I'll probably be home by the time it's starting.
That's exciting. And then
Sheamus is winning the IC title on it. I'll watch it.
Nah, that might be the Mania thing. Except now they're setting up AJ Styles and Braun Breaker, which I'm fine with. That'll be a good match, but.
Saw that. Well, Grand Slam was above average, pretty good.
Yeah,
we got some stuff coming up. Dynamite doesn't look half bad. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going. I liked Dynamite. It wasn't quite as good as the one before it.
Yeah, it's still good.
But it was still like moving forward. Things were moving. Things were good.
Honestly, remove the main event scene and I'm pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an unfortunate thing to say. But I'm trying to look at the bright side.
mean, that says something for everyone else, being able to carry it. That's like everything else is really strong.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. Well, I think that just about does it. I got nothing else. Everyone out there, don't you forget to hit that like button with your elbow. Take that subscribe button and give it a blue thunder bomb.
Ooh.
Give it a hidden angel. Whoa,
Dude,
that's crazy. That's turning on
That's the
notifications.
That's the name on it, right? That's the name of that move.
Yeah.
Better than one winged blade. So
Yeah, exactly.
Take that, Doomsday.
Yeah.
LOD, the old finisher.
Yeah, dude. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Like, how did they make the Doomsday device cooler? Like how they did that. But yeah, leave a comment. We want to know what you're thinking, and we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Doing it. Bye.
Pip, pip, cheerio.
bye.